This week's episode of NXT was actually pretty good. Not actually, it was pretty good. This episode was very entertaining. The matches were really good. The promo work was amazing. We got some really good promos this week. And the backstage segments and like the little video packages were really good as well. And we got some pretty interesting matches. So let's get into what happened this week on NXT. So we started off with a one-on-one match, Trick Williams versus Josh Briggs for the TNA Championship. This was a heavy-hitting, high-energy match. The crowd was really into it. This match was fun, and we had Inamura ringside supporting Josh Briggs. So let's get into some highlights of this match. Briggs hit a pop-up shoulder drop on Trick Williams and a big splash. Trick Williams hit a second rope flying knee. Josh Briggs hit a massive choke slam on Trick Williams. Briggs missed a top of the rope moonsault, and Trick Williams took the opportunity and took advantage of that and hit him with a trick shot, his finisher, for the win. After the match, while Trick was celebrating, he grabbed the mic and he was about to talk a lot of trash, and out of nowhere, boom, Joe Hendry's song hits. Say his name, he'll appear. I believe in Joe Hendry. Pow, pow. Joe Hendry comes out of nowhere and he attacks Trick Williams from behind. And this is just setting up like a rivalry between them where I guess Joe Hendry will be facing off against Trick Williams for the TNA Championship again. After this, though, we got our second match of the night. It was Javon Evans versus Tavion Heights. This match was pretty entertaining. Javon Evans' high-flying moves absolutely stole the show on this match. It was really good, especially on Javon Evans' part. As always, he was amazing in this match. He was amazing in the ring, and his high-flying moves were still as shocking as the first time I saw them. But anyhow, let's get into some highlights. Javon Evans hit a springboard crossbody and an over-the-top rope suicide dive on Tavion Heights. Tavion hit a flying clothesline, which looked pretty good and it looked pretty brutal. Tavion also hit a bridging German suplex on Javon Evans. Evans hit a springboard twisting enziguri on Tavion Heights, which looked pretty impressive. First time I've seen that combination anyway. And Javon Evans hit a top of the rope tornado twisting splash on Tavion Heights for the win. After the match ends, while Javon Evans is celebrating, he gets attacked from behind by Jasper Troy, the guy who the guy who has been attacking Obafemi in the last recent weeks. The guy who faced Obafemi for the NXT Championship and lost recently. He gets attacked by Jasper Troy after the match, and Jasper Troy attacks him and just leaves. He doesn't say anything, just attacks and leaves. After this, though, we got the most interesting match of the night, in my opinion. Not the best, but the most interesting. Well, before this, it was announced that Crucifino got the Don, Tony D'Angelo, a match against Stax for the Heritage Cup because Noam Dar got injured and he was going to be unable to defend it, and he was going to be unable to be in the match due to his injury. So it was set up that Crucifino got the Don, Tony D, the match instead, and it was going to be Tony D'Angelo versus Stax for the Heritage Cup. And that was a really interesting match. But before we got to that, though, we got our third match of the night. It was Ashanti the Adonis versus Ricky Saints. This was a really quick match. It was Ricky Saints like returning match from his injury, story-wise injury, not real-life injury, just like his story-wise injury. It was a pretty quick match. I don't really remember too much from it, but like the only highlight from me that I remember vivid like reacting to was when Ricky Saints hit his Rochambeau on Ashanti the Adonis for the win. And after that match, Ethan Page came up on the big screen. He was about to cut a video package, and the video package just got like stuck, like it was glitching, and everybody thought there was like an issue with it. And out of nowhere, Ethan Page comes and he blindsides Ricky Saints. He smacks Ricky Saints in the face with his NXT Championship, and he hits the Rochambeau, Ricky Saints finisher, on Ricky Saints himself, which looked pretty cool. And this rivalry is continuing, and there's going to be like a segment with them two next week in Ava's office, the GM. I don't know what's going to happen, what it's going to be about, but that's set up that. After that match, though, we got a very good and amazing promo from Obafemi, an amazing in-ring promo from Obafemi. So Obafemi comes out. He says he's been NXT champion since January of this year, since January 2025. He's beaten everyone from NXT, Raw, and even SmackDown. He said he's getting tired and restless. He needs challengers. He needs real competition. And if anyone has the guts to step up to him, the ruler is ready. And that's what he says. This promo was well delivered and it had a lot of intensity. I just summarized what he said, but like, you know, it was a bit longer than that. I'm just summarizing what he said. But anyhow, though, out of nowhere, Inamura's music hits and boom, Inamura comes out. He said he came to NXT chasing glory. He ended up having to leave and he came back. And now that he's here, he came back for the fans. He loves NXT. He loves the fans. He loves the passion of the fans. He loves his friends backstage. And he wants to pay them back by becoming NXT champion. Obafemi says that this is his kingdom. Inamura can't fool him. When he looks at Inamura, he sees a man with fighting spirit. And if Inamura wants to face him, that's fine. Inamura made a mistake by challenging him. Inamura made a mistake by challenging Derula. And he will fail just like everybody else. And Obafemi will leave him laid out just like everybody else. And after this, Inamura heads out of the ring. He's about to leave and go back into the backstage area. And out of nowhere, boom, again, Jasper Troy comes out for the second time of the night. And he attacks Inamura from behind. And this sets up a match next week where it's going to be a #1 contenders match. Inamura versus Jasper Troy. Winner gets to face Obafemi for the NXT championship. And I don't really see Jasper Troy losing because they're building him up to be this like monster. And I don't think, maybe with the help of Josh Briggs, Inamura could win, but I don't see Inamura winning easily anyway. And after this though, we got the most interesting match of the night, in my opinion. Not the best, but most interesting. It was the Tony D'Angelo versus Stax Lorenzo Heritage Cup match. So this match was really interesting because it consisted of 6 rounds, 6 3-minute rounds with rest in between. Each competitor had to fight in 6 3-minute rounds and they get a 15-second break in between each round. So some highlights from this match were Tony D'Angelo hit a big backdrop on Stax Lorenzo. Tony hit a flying knee on Stax. Tony hit Stax with a spear to score the first pinfall in the match in the second round. Stax hit a jumping knee. Stax rolled up Tony D'Angelo in the 4th round to tie it with 1 pin each, 1 pinfall apiece. Crucifino came out to support Tony D'Angelo because he was getting bullied. Stax had lackeys ringside and they kept causing distractions and everything, and Crucifino ended up coming out to support the Don. Crucifino though, while he's supporting and defending the Don, he accidentally hits the Don with a steel bucket one of the lackeys of Stax was holding. He accidentally hits him with that bucket while defending Tony D'Angelo. And this causes Tony D'Angelo to be distracted. Stax hits his finisher on Tony D'Angelo, and Stax scores the second pinfall and wins in the 5th round. And this was a really interesting match. This is like the first time I've seen this concept, like watching the Heritage Cup. This is the first time I've seen a match of this like type of this, you know, the rules. This is the first time I've seen something like that. And it was pretty interesting. I really enjoyed it. After the match though, Tony D'Angelo got really mad at Crucifino and he ended up punching Crucifino out of anger. And this sets up more separation and more tension between the two. Like I said though, this was a really cool match with unique stipulations and a unique concept. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. This was a nice match. Then we got to the main event. By far, undoubtedly the best match of the night. It was the women's Fatal 4-Way match. It was Jordynne Grace versus Lash Legend versus Jada Parker versus Izzy Dame. Winner gets to be involved and participate in WWE's Evolve Premium Live event. It's the live event where it's going to be all women and they'll be able to participate in that live event. So some highlights from this match. There was a lot. This match was really good. This match was amazing. So some highlights were that Miss Parker hit a top rope crossbody on Lash Legend. Jordynne Grace hit a suicide dive on Lash Legend. Jordynne Grace again hit a top rope crossbody on Lash Legend. Jordynne Grace hit this super crazy powerbomb suplex spot. It's like that spot they do in every triple threat or every Fatal 4-Way match, you know, where all the competitors on the top rope and somebody comes out of nowhere from the bottom and just slams all of them, powerbombs them, suplexes them. That's the spot we got, but it looked really good because there was like, she powerbombed Lash Legend, Jada Parker, and Izzy Dame. It looked really good. Miss Parker hit the Hypnotic. By Miss Parker, I mean Jada Parker. That's her nickname down at NXT, Miss Parker. So Jada Parker hit the Hypnotic on Jordynne Grace. Izzy Dame hit a Codebreaker on Jada Parker. Lash Legend hit the Lash Extension, her finisher, on Jada Parker. And Jordynne Grace took the opportunity and she hit the Beast Mode on Jada Parker for the win. And this was, like I said, undoubtedly match of the night. These women, they showed up and absolutely stole the show and they showed out. So at Evolve, the all women's premium live event, it's going to be JC Jane versus Jordynne Grace for the NXT Women's Championship at Evolve, or Evolution at Evolve. This episode was very entertaining. Like I said, the matches were really good and the promo work was really good. I enjoyed the backstage segments, the video packages. I enjoyed everything in this show, honestly. And this week for NXT, I'd rate it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this show and it was a really good show. So 8 out of 10 from me. Anyways though, thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me out. And thank you for listening to my opinions. Thank you again for showing up. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. It's been a pleasure. I'm out.